What's going on, everybody? Oxydize bringing you another dev talk discussion. This time the most anticipated, the most exciting thing of 2020 for Outbound Online: corrupted dungeons. Are you kidding me? This is it. This is going to be the pinnacle. This is what's going to take Outbound Online through the ceiling into the spotlight, because I think this is going to be huge. If you don't know what corrupted dungeons are, just essentially, before we get into this, they are going to be a PvE, PvP based system, based on a 1v1 type of invasion system, much like Dark Souls. Okay, if you've ever played Dark Souls, but we're gonna get into it now. There is a video, and I'll make sure to put this link into the description so you can watch the video yourself. We're not gonna do that here. We're gonna talk through the notes from here. So one such feature is Corrupted Dungeons, a new type of single player dungeon that will bring new dimensions to solo play in Albion Online. Told you. In this dev talk, blah 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 blah. Okay. So PvP, the basics. Okay, to find a corrupted dungeon, you'll need to explore the open world and find a corrupted dungeon entrance. These spawn like regular solo randomized dungeons, but they look a great deal more sinister. So in the video, they show how this happens, and I love this because Hellgates are annoying. I love Hellgates first and foremost, but Hellgates are annoying because you're constantly having to watch out for gankers and people who are also trying to do Hellgates. You have to kind of like battle it out. So this way you get to just jump right on into it, which I think is awesome, as long as you can find one. And we don't know how common these are going to be, but I'm going to assume they're going to be relatively common because they have there's reward systems, MMRs, and you want a lot of people doing these to kind of keep it going, you know. When entering a corrupted dungeon, you can choose your difficulty. Hunter, you get lower rewards. You get knockdown PvP rules. What that means is that it's not full loot PvP. You get to go in, and if you get killed by another player, you just get knocked down, and you're only that happens is that you take some durability damage, which is fine. You don't lose any of your stuff, which is really, really cool. A good difficulty for anyone learning the basics for 1v1 PvP in Albion. I think from what I understand, is that they might. Everyone has to start at Hunter until they get to a certain MMR or whatever, or infamy points is what they'll get into later, and then you can move on to Stalker and Slayer as well. Stalker is full loot PvP with high rewards, but still a low item power soft cap. So this is the ones that are like, hey, I'm ready to get into it, but I'm not like a veteran yet, but I'm ready to get into the full loot stuff, so you can take other people's loot and make some big cha-ching, baby. And then going into Slayer is going to be the one that most people go into after, you know, most of your veterans are going to be in Slayer because it's full loot PvP, PvE challenges higher IP, soft cap, everything. What it means by soft cap is you can go in. So let's say the soft cap is 1,000 IP. If you go in with like 1,200 IP, it's going to get knocked down a little bit. I don't know if they go into what exactly, but for Hellgates, it's like a 50% decrease after 1,000 IP. So okay, for example, 1,000 IP is the soft cap. You go in with 1,200, now you're at 1,100 IP instead within the dungeon. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I'm not sure if they're gonna do the same thing here, but I'm assuming they will be. What's inside? So after choosing your difficulty, enter the dungeon. You find yourself in a place infested with demons and corrupted creatures. Don't be so edgy, we get it. To complete the dungeon, you have to cleanse the creatures. Each creature will gain you infamy points. Different enemies will wield different amounts based on their difficulty. When you've collected enough infamy points, the final boss in the dungeon appears. By defeating it, you can lay claim to the loot rewards of the dungeon. So you could go this entire dungeon without getting invaded and just beating the final boss, which I think is really cool. But the 1v1 invasion part's kind of like the whole big deal, right? Finally, at the end of a dungeon run, a portal to another corrupted dungeon appears and allows you to start another dungeon right away. Are you kidding me? I love that. You can just go back to back to back. So if you think you get some loot and you're like, it's okay, you know, I want to try to go again, you don't have to find another one. That is phenomenal, dude. Oh, that makes me so excited. I absolutely love that. Now, if you do get insane loot and you want to go pocket it in the bank, then it gives you the option to return it into pocket it, which I think is also very nice. Okay, so how does the PvP work? In every corrupted dungeon is a demonic shrine, which players can use to sign themselves up to invade other players. Once a player has signed up, the game will regularly check for a potential invasion target. If such a target is found, the invading player will be pulled from the dungeon into another player's dungeon. Okay. Now there's two options. The defending player has two options. They can rally and fight the invader. Yeah, like real champions right there. Or they can try to find the demonic shards which appeared in the dungeon along with the invader. So this is weird. So it's not always going to be a straight up 1v1 fight. Let's say you get invaded and you notice that they are going to extremely outscale you and they're going to do way more damage than you, and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to beat this, it gives you another option. And if you know how to escape, so maybe pocketing like a double-bladed staff for a lot of mobility and escaping might not be a bad idea, but we're not gonna know until we start doing these ourselves, right? If either player kills the other, the victim loses some of their infamy and their killer gains some of it. This allows players to gain very high infamy numbers and rise in the ranks of their own prominence. This is the MMR system we were talking about, and for significant boosts to future dungeon rewards. So this is saying if you beat your invader, or if you beat the 1v1, you'll get better rewards in the future. That's gonna be interesting. I don't know, it's kind of vague right here, but we don't know how it's gonna work. Again, we're gonna wait until we get into it ourselves, which I can't wait. Special features of the corrupted dungeons. To add tactics and depth to these encounters, there are a number of special features players can use to try to outsmart their opponents. NPC positions are marked on the mini-map, allowing you to guess your opponent's position based on the creatures that they've already slain. Watcher demons will mark any player they encounter on the mini-map for their opponent to see. And last but not least, there's a large number of traps and hazards which you will need to avoid or actively use to outsmart defeat your opponents. Okay, so if you play it smart, your IP, you know, if you have the worst gear, you know, or they're just, you know, they're just sweaty tryhards really trying to get in deep in there, then you can, like, you have ways to outplay them, outmaneuver, outsmart them if you're good enough, if you're up to the task. But let me tell you, if you're following this channel, you're so high testosterone, I'm pretty sure you can beat any 1v1, guaranteed. In conclusion, as you can see, there's a lot of features here. The roads all for today. We look forward to our next dev talk, which will go in depth with the roads of Avalon and their impact on the world of Albion Online. Beautiful stuff, guys. Let me know what you think of the corrupted dungeons. I am extremely excited. There will be a place on the YouTube channel and on my streams for corrupted dungeons, because come on, 1v1 PvP, that's so easy just to pick up and play. Whereas in Hellgates, getting a partner can sometimes be frustrating, or you know, sometimes timing doesn't add up. So I'm really glad to see this, and I'll be back again with the roads of Avalon dev talk. See y'all next time, guys. Stay beautiful.